It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Toronto 6 NWHL hockey player Saroya Tinker. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional hockey?
Yeah, for sure. I think when I was initially entering my name in the draft, I didn't know if I wanted to play professional hockey. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue my career, but I decided to play for the little black girls behind me so that they would have the opportunity that I've had. So that's why I decided to play professionally, and here we are.
Can you talk about, of course, your time at Yale?
Yeah. At Yale, I think I had a great experience on campus and being with the other athletes. I don't think my hockey experience was as great as I had hoped it to be. We weren't necessarily a winning program. We were kind of middle of the pack until my senior year, where Mark Bolden came in and kind of helped us out in that regard. But yeah, I think overall I had an amazing experience at Yale, and wouldn't change that for the world.
What were some of your accomplishments at Yale?
Yeah, well, we sure didn't win a lot until my senior year. But coming along with that at Yale, I was a member of multiple groups and communities on campus that didn't necessarily involve hockey. And I won an award at graduation from the African American House, based on my abilities to push through my academics and excel academically at Yale, but also be a member of the community and be a member within sport within New Haven, not just Yale. So that was obviously an awesome accomplishment. But yeah, I think we definitely could have used some wins under the belt. But yeah, we had a good time.
Can you talk about, of course, putting on the Yale jersey for the first time and what that was like for you?
Yeah, I think obviously Yale's a very old school, so our jerseys are definitely still how they historically have been, very in line with Yale's beliefs and whatever. They like to stick to tradition. So putting on the Yale jersey was definitely something very special. And being the first Black person to ever play Yale hockey, men's or women's, was definitely an accomplishment as well. And being able to see my other teammate Kirsten Good come in my senior year and be able to put on the jersey as well showed me that there's other women that are going to be following in my footsteps and wearing the Yale jersey as well.
What was your playing experience like in the minor leagues, playing for the Flames midgets?
Oh yeah. So before I joined my Durham West Jr team in the PWHL, I played my career with the Clarington Flames, which is just past Oshawa, where I grew up. So I would say my experience with the Clarington Flames, we definitely had a high level achieving team when I played there. I want to say we probably only lost twice, I think, with the girls that I grew up playing with. So out of those girls, I think probably 90% of us received scholarships and have made it farther in hockey. So it was definitely an advanced program and something that definitely helped me become the hockey player I am today, just being such a strong program and being a winning program. So I'm definitely thankful for Clarington for being there, and then moving forward to Durham West and the PWHL.
As you talked about playing for the PWHL, can you talk about that experience and what that was like for you?
Yeah, I mean, in Ontario, PWHL is one of the top leagues. We've got a lot of players who go play CIS, play NCAA D1, some in D3. So definitely heavily being recruited in terms of NCAA schools. So playing was a great experience because I was aware that I was playing the highest level of hockey available to me. And I mean, with it stretching all across Ontario, I think we have a lot of girls that have made it and have loved the game and have played in strong programs. So playing in the PWHL, I think that's an amazing experience that anybody should take, especially if they're looking to go that NCAA D1 route.
What was it like to get drafted to the Metropolitan Riverters in the NWHL?
Hmm. It was great. I mean, I definitely didn't expect to be drafted as high as I did, just being the big, strong defenseman I am. I'm not necessarily somebody who's gonna go out there and score all your goals for you, but I definitely am gonna keep those goals from being scored against us. So, I mean, I think that's why I was drafted so high. I definitely have a strong defensive presence, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do that with the Six and bringing my talents there next season.
What was it like to have been played with the Riveters and have your name on the back of the jersey and played with players like Madison Parker and Rebecca Morse?
Yeah, I mean, I think those girls are obviously veterans in the game, especially in terms of veterans being in the NWHL. It was great to be able to learn from veteran players and see how they've navigated their sponsorships and the league and how they navigate their work life outside of hockey. So it was great to be able to learn from vets like themselves. And I think I'm definitely going to carry that information along with me in my career and hope to make an impact just as they have.
What was it like the first time you put on the Metropolitan Riveters jersey as a professional hockey player?
Yeah, it's definitely a surreal feeling. I didn't know what it was going to feel like to play professional hockey. Just obviously being females in the game, I think we don't get enough credit as we put in a lot of work just as the men do. So I definitely wasn't sure what to expect, but putting on the jersey and playing my first game, I was able to get all the nerves out and realize that I can definitely be a strong presence in the league. And wearing the Riveter jersey was awesome behind Kelsey Colzer. I mean, I looking up to her. She's an amazing player, and she was the first Black woman to play on the Riveters. So definitely somebody who I look to in that sense, and look forward to being able to put on another new jersey next season.
Well, speaking about that, what was the transition like from going from the Metropolitan Riveters to now where you are now with the Toronto Six?
Yeah, I mean, I think going to Toronto is definitely something that spoke to me just because my family is from there. My family still lives there. And to be honest, my family hasn't really seen me. They obviously saw some of my Yale games, but they haven't been able to watch me play a whole season in about 5 years now. So, I mean, it'll be great for them to, just be able to drive a couple minutes rather than 10 hours to Yale to watch me play. But I think that the transition to Toronto has been pretty smooth so far. I'm enjoying getting to know the other girls who have signed and being welcomed into the Toronto Six community, as I think that they do a great job of doing so.
Of course, with the NWHL having a 1 year contract, how has that helped you to now where you weren't tied down to the Metropolitan Riveters, where you could just freely go to Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's a great option. I think it's something that our league prides itself on. To be honest, I think having shorter contracts allows us women to be able to find our path outside of hockey, which is obviously something that we need to do, seeing as though we don't make living wage. So I think with that, it allows us for more freedom and allows us to take jobs where we want to take jobs um, and really flourish not just in hockey but in our everyday lives as moms, as wives, as other people in the workforce. So I think that those 1 year contracts are imperative, and I think that they really help us within our sport and outside of hockey as well.
Can you talk about, of course, how you balance being a professional athlete and also having a job not as a professional athlete?
Yeah, it's definitely something that hasn't been very easy to navigate. But again, I think it just goes along the lines of how I felt about being in university and playing hockey. Obviously, I was doing my schoolwork instead of doing my 9 to 5 job work, I guess. But at the same time, it's all about having that balance in your schedule and knowing how to manage your time. So I think it's definitely something to not be taken for granted, as I think that a lot of people do, don't realize how much time management goes into it. But I think it's been important in terms of making me who I am today and allowing me to be responsible for my actions and what I have going on outside of hockey while still having to train.
How will it feel when to have your name on the back of the Toronto Six jersey now?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I'm excited to play in front of a home crowd. I'm excited for my family members to be able to watch me again. My I know my dad's bringing his friends out to the games and things like that. So I think I'm ready to expect a whole new atmosphere in terms of the support I'm receiving while I'm playing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my new coaches. I'm looking forward to playing with Michaela Grant Metis, and I think that it's going to be a great experience.
What was a typical game day like for you with the Metropolitan Riverters and now going towards Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what a typical game day looks like. When we were in the bubble, it was pretty hectic, and obviously we've got our time for pregame stuff. But I would say it definitely wasn't my normal pregame routine. I think for myself, I definitely like to keep to myself. I've always got my headphones in, especially on game day. I don't like when people bother me, so I keep those in and make sure I'm focused for the game. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to being able to have a normal game day vibe that we weren't able to have in Lake Placid due to having a bubble and it being so hectic and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to be able to, carry out those pregame routines that I have in the past and be able to be fully focused with the Six.
Can you talk about, of course, playing in Lake Placid and what that was like for you playing on Miracle Ice?
Yeah, it's an experience that I've had before, but going back to Lake Placid to play professional hockey, I definitely think that it was something awesome to see. I think that the NW did an amazing job with the setup and the things that we were given and the way we were treated in regards to being professional athletes. And it was so amazing to see the NWHL banner outside of the Miracle Rink, and I think it's awesome to be able to play on surfaces like that, and I look forward to being able to do that again maybe one day.
As you talked about, you played probably at Yale on Miracle Ice. What was the difference between playing at Yale Miracle Ice versus playing in the NWHL on Miracle Ice?
Yeah, so I actually played. I played on Team Canada and played against US on Miracle Ice actually for our 3 game series on the U18 national team. So being able to play against US on that ice was definitely something that's historic. And we saw it growing up in movies and watching the movie on the bus before we got to the rink and realizing that we're going to be playing in that arena. So I think it's definitely a very surreal feeling, and being able to wear the national team jersey in that arena is also another huge thing that I think is awesome and is great to see within my sport. And seeing women on the ice is an amazing thing.
How has your time playing with Team Canada and the PWPH along with the NWHL when you were with Metropolitans helped you to where you are now with Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously my throughout my career I've been able to develop in different ways. I think when I played in the PWHL, playing junior before I was recruited, I was definitely more of an offensive defenseman and like to take the puck end to end when at any chance I got. Whereas when I got to Yale, I think I had to play more defensively and stay home and be that force on defense that we see now. And I'm hoping to be able to take both of those and lead that to maybe some offensive opportunities next year with the Six and be able to use those offensive skills that I do still have tucked in my back pocket.
What are some of your future plans with the Six?
Wow, I mean, I think there could be some big plans. Obviously, we've probably got some things in the works that I'm not allowed to speak on, but at the same time, um, we've got Mark Jocelyn coming into coach, we've got Angela James coming into coach, and I think that we've really got a strong force of girls that are really there for the same reasons. And I mean, ultimately, that's obviously to have a good time and have fun, but that's also to win. So I think being the only Canadian team and being the newest team within the NWHL is going to allow us to, have that fire under us and get those points for next season and be a runner for the Isabel Cup.
With you living in Canada and obviously playing with Toronto, do you see other teams in Canada moving into the NWHL in the
Yeah,
future?
for sure. I mean, I think we're looking to expand and get as many teams as we can. We heard about potentially a Montreal expansion for next year for our 22-23 season, and I mean, I just hope that the league continues to expand and generate those sponsorships and that those funds that we need as professional athletes and as a professional league.
Of course, looking back on this previous season and with the pay raise going up and stuff, how important was that to move forward?
Yeah, I think it was great to see. I think it gives us all hope. For me, with them doubling the salary cap, I'm hoping for them to be able to double that 3 times over so that the girls that I mentor and the girls that I talk to on a regular basis are able to make a living wage and don't have to, have a 9 to 5 outside of playing their sport. So seeing that doubled up salary, I think it's obviously good news. Still room for improvement, obviously, in terms of pay, but I think that we're making the right steps and taking this in the right direction.
Who are some players that you look up to in the league and implement your game after?
hmm Um, to be honest, I think I like to focus on myself. I don't think I really want to play like anybody in the league. I want to play like me. I definitely look up to my captains and the veterans that have obviously been there from the time the league was formed. But at the same time, I think that that's that more verbal advice rather than looking to them as people to model my game after per se. But yeah, I think playing with veteran players is always a privilege and something that people shouldn't take for granted as we listen and learn from them and take those skills to the next level as they exit the league and we try to improve it further.
What advice would you give college hockey players looking to play college hockey?
I think in terms of college, I mean, you got to get in the right position. You got to play on the right teams. You got to be reaching out to coaches. So, I mean, I help those girls with a lot of that, and I think a lot of people struggle with recruiting and struggle with the next steps to take. So, I mean, for myself, I would say reach out to coaches, research the schools you want to see, research the schools you want to go to, and really make an effort to figure out that program, find what they're looking for, and implement that into your game and go from there.
What advice would you give college hockey players looking to make it into the professionals?
I mean, I think the biggest difference between NCAA and the NWHL playing professionally is the body contact and the level of maturity it takes to play the game and set up plays and the pace. I think that NCAA is probably a little more chippy and a little less organized on ice and play specific. Whereas I think in our league you got to be able to take that body contact and control the puck and really have those puck managing skills. And if you don't, I think it makes it hard to play in the league. So I would say body contact and then puck management.
What advice would you give future and current hockey players playing professionally in the NWHL?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's only my second year in the league, so I'm not sure that I'm equipped to really give advice in regards to other professional players, but I think that I mean everybody should be training, everybody should be doing everything they can do to improve and make our league, play at that next level. So continuing to do the stuff off ice that you need to do, taking care of yourself mentally and physically is huge. But I think those are the things that I would say.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Yeah, so I am Saroya Tinker 71 on Twitter, Instagram, etc. And you can find more information on my website. It is saroyastrong.com. And on my website, we've got multiple pages with information based on what I do, what I provide these girls with, and my career. So that's where you can find me.
Thank you again, Saroya Tinker, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Toronto Stakes.
Thank you so much.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Saroya, for your interview, and best of luck.
Great. Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.